All right. So this is a video because we're getting towards the Epstein stuff. This is adjacent to the Epstein stuff. This is Stephanie Miller, who's a progressive radio DJ, and she went on Sean Hannity's show the other day, and it was absolutely awesome. And I want to share that with you guys. So first we'll play this clip here. This is Stephanie Miller on Sean Hannity's show, and this is before the government shutdown. So this is Sean Hannity asking her a question, and we'll let him go ahead and go through this, and we're going to read a bit, and then we got another clip after this.
Do you notice Joe Biden's cognitive decline? And don't change the subject and deflect. When did you really notice it?
Well, I think it was through all of the times that Donald Trump has fallen asleep in public and talked about, magnets getting wet in the last few,
oh my gosh.
My mom had dementia, so I recognize it.
Stephanie, this is not, it's a very good deflection. You're a professional.
You know what else is great about Biden's decline is that Trump is all over the Epstein files, and I'm wondering if they're going to release those. Are you covering that tonight? Yeah.
2028. Who is your progressive liberal?
Yeah, we have a really deep bench. I love Governor Newsom. I love Governor Pritzker. I love Governor Beshear. We have a very deep bench. You have J.D. Vance, who just, I believe, endorsed his brother who lost by 60 points. So, and I think Jasmine Crockett, if she runs, will beat Ted Cruz, and I will miss him because he's so likable, Sean, don't you think?
Okay, so
I just love the smile at the end. That's such an amazing smile at the end. This is the first time I've ever seen Stephanie Miller, and I think I'm in love. So progressive radio host Stephanie Miller on Wednesday mocked Fox News host Sean Hannity and called out his network over its dismal coverage of President Donald Trump's ties to late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. So Miller on the day House Democrats released bombshell new Epstein emails mentioning Trump appeared on Hannity's show where she was asked about a recent photo of her kissing Rep. Jasmine Crockett's Texas sneakers. Her sneakers. Jasmine Crockett's sneakers. Apparently I can't talk all of a sudden. So this is a clip of that.
I thought it was funny, but if it was anybody else, I probably wouldn't think it was as funny. So well done.
Thank you for being the only one on the right that gets the joke, Sean. It was a joke. And then the funniest thing about this story is Trump's all over the Epstein files. And I wonder.
When I first watched this, I was like, what did she say here? I mean, look, would I kiss Jasmine Crockett's sneakers? Probably. They probably smell like success. Okay. All right. But I was like, what do you, this is such a weird topic to have on a news show. How do you respond to that? And I think that's the only way that you can respond to it.
It was a joke. And then the funniest thing about this story is Trump's all over the Epstein files. And I wonder if they're going to release that after the big bombshell. I didn't see anything about that on Fox News today. Yeah. Okay, so let's release them.
Let's release them. And that is the literal fucking response from every single Democrat I've ever talked to. When people are like, well, I heard Bill Clinton's in those. Release the files. I've heard there's a lot of people that potentially I know of, people that potentially I've read their books. Release the files. That's the way it is. Like, nobody cares, man. The only people here defending somebody are Republicans. They are defending Donald Trump because they defend pedophiles. That's why.
Release those files. Is this what passes for news? Is this what passes for news on Fox News?
Why did you kiss her feet?
And that is literally what passes for news on Fox News, though. So, yes, actually, that's exactly what it was. And then there's one more here where this is the full answer. This is her full answer with Hannity responding.
But all right, so I do have a question. I tried to get an answer out of you on radio. Okay, the question is, when did you notice Joe Biden's cognitive decline? And don't change the subject and deflect. When did you really notice it?
Well, I think it was through all of the times that Donald Trump has fallen asleep in public and talked about, magnets getting wet in the last few,
oh my gosh.
My mom had dementia, so I recognize it.
Stephanie, this is not, it's a very good deflection. You're a professional.
You know what else is great about
Biden's
decline is that Trump is all over the Epstein files, and I'm wondering if they're going to release those. Are you covering that tonight?
Not really, because the woman that apparently they're talking about is the one that said he was a gentleman. And
not really. That's why I wanted to play this a second time. He says, not really. Now, you don't want to cover the fact that it says, I have pictures of Donald Trump in the kitchen with underage girls in bikinis? You don't want to cover the one where he says, ask my house man about how Donald Trump walked into a sliding glass door and left a nose imprint on it because he was so intent on the young ladies in the pool? You don't want to ask him about the fact that Michael Wolff was having a conversation with Jeffrey Epstein about information that could possibly have changed the election? You don't want to ask, you don't want to cover any of that? No, the only thing that you want to talk about, is the fact that one of those emails, and we don't even know if it does or not, they're just saying that it does, contained information including perhaps Virginia Giuffre, who did say that at no time did she ever experience anything negative with Donald Trump. And the thing about that is I believe that. I believe that Virginia Giuffre she was never assaulted by Trump. I believe that there's a lot of other people out there, though, that were trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein that we need to hear from them, though. That's what I believe. You see, even if Donald Trump, even if every one of those women came out and said, no, Donald Trump didn't do anything, you would still need to explain why Donald Trump has spent the last year, 2 years, because he wasn't defending it 2 years ago. He was running on it. My bad. Why for the last year, Donald Trump has been saying it's a hoax. Why Donald Trump has changed his story multiple times as to how he got rid of that creep, Jeffrey Epstein. You'd have to explain why Pam Bondi said there was a clients list and then there wasn't. Why Kash Patel said that there was going to be an intense investigation and that there's thousands of hours of footage on Joe Rogan's podcast. And then all of a sudden he said it's actually all a hoax. You would have to explain, even if you wanted to say that every single one of those young women came out and said Donald Trump didn't do anything, you would still need to explain why Donald Trump is covering up the Epstein files. Because I'll tell you this, innocent people don't do that. If you came to me and you said, hey, I think that you're in the Epstein files, and I had the ability to release those files, even if I had been Jeffrey Epstein's friend, even if I had had business dealings with Jeffrey Epstein's, but I knew that I ain't do anything, I'd just show you that shit. And I'd be like, fucking prove it. Like, dude was a creep. I kicked him out. That's where we're at. Go after the people that did shit. Donald Trump isn't at this point concerned with anybody going after anybody. He's not concerned about the ties to Israel. He's not concerned about Prince Andrew. He's not concerned about any of the legit stories where people have actually paid out to victims in civil cases. Because Donald Trump is probably all over those files. And he's 100% all over those emails. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And check out that video on the screen now.